first thing I want to say about freelance writing is that there is a huge difference between doing writing on the side to earn some extra money and to making freelance writing your full-time career. So I want to make this disclaimer up front, is that I have been doing freelance writing on the side to help support me through college, just to have extra money for the last 4 years. But since I've graduated, which I just graduated in December, I went to college later in life, not right out of high school. But anyway, I've been now trying to make it more my full-time career. And granted, it's been just a few months, 4 months now. So I don't want to come across that I'm an expert in making freelance writing your career, because it's something that I am just new to myself and learning about, and I am learning so much. I've made a lot of mistakes, and I've done some things right, and so I thought, I would have benefited so much from hearing from other people's mistakes. And I did research on the internet and read what other people were saying, but there's nothing like, your own experience. So I am doing this series simply because I have been getting so many emails, people emailing me and just asking what it's like to be a freelance writer, how do you make money, blah, blah, blah. So that's what this is about. Again, so when you are doing freelance writing on the side, there's not really the pressure, because you're kind of doing it for fun. You can be more leisurely about it. For me, I have to say I was lucky, because I was actually asked to do an article for a magazine in Portland whom my friend wrote for, and they had asked her to do a story that she didn't have time for, so she recommended me. The magazine took me on, not having published anything professionally before, and so I was lucky. They took me on, and they liked me, and they kept asking me to write for them. So I didn't have to really do any work in the beginning in terms of getting myself sold. They just published an article that I did. They paid me, and then they kept asking me, oh, here's this story. Do you want to do this? I would say that's rare. I don't think that's the normal, but it did get me, published and started my portfolio. And I was under the impression that it would be easy from there, because I always thought, well, the hardest thing is just getting that first paid writing gig. And now I'm learning, actually, the hardest thing is, for me anyway, is learning to really nail query letters, because that is what it's all about. You have to sell yourself, and I'm just not I don't like selling myself at all. It's like my least favorite thing to do. So I would say that that's the area that I've grown the most in, and learned the most about, and I'm still learning. But in this video, I just wanted to quickly outline what the life of a freelance writer looks like. And again, I am just starting to branch out in this myself. I graduated from college. I moved to Italy. I actually came here just to celebrate my graduation. I had saved some money, and I lived here before once for almost a year. So I came to visit friends, to stay with some friends, and it just happened to be that the room was available, and I wanted to stay, and so I just decided to stay. So I've been doing other things to help support myself here. I've been teaching English, and I've always done freelance editing as well, so I'm starting to expand that. And then I've been writing. For example, I looked around here and I found that there's an English newspaper. It's called the Florentine, and I just contacted the editor and said, hey, do you need some? They had a food and wine section, and I've worked in the wine industry for the past 8 years, so it's something that I have expertise in, somewhat of an expertise in, and so I started. I talked to the editor. Again, you kind of have to write a query. I kind of just introduced myself, said who I was, gave her my writing portfolio, and said that I'm available to do stuff. And they contacted me, and so that's how one of the writing jobs that I got here. Now, they're a weekly or a bi-weekly publication, and they don't, usually those type of newspapers don't pay a lot of money, but it's, again, they still pay you, and it's a great way to build your portfolio. So what I want to say is that really it's important to, when you're starting out in general, find your niche, whatever it is that is your niche to write about. And this is really important, because a lot of beginning writers will just say, oh, I'll write anything, I'll do anything. But I have found, for me, when I did that, it scattered me way too much. But when I got focused and really thought, okay, what can I write about? What am I interested in? Um, what do I know a lot about? What do I know that that'll continue to motivate me to keep writing, or what do I want to learn about? And for me, wine and food and traveling are all things that I do and love to do. So it's natural that I would write about those sort of things. But that market is very, very competitive. So I'm learning to navigate my way through that, and I'll do another video about that. But then also, children's literature is one of my favorite things, and I'm working on my own children's like middle grade book. So I contacted a blog that I really love that's a well-known established blog called Novel Novice. And actually, the woman who owns the blog talked in one of my classes at college. I took this um, writing for young adults class, and she came and talked to us. But her blog is very well known. She's very connected in the industry. And so my professor just recommended, hey, why don't you contact them and see if you can write for them? Because a lot of blogs are always looking for contributing bloggers. And that was one of the best things I ever did, because although with a blog you don't get paid, you are building your portfolio, you're making contacts, you're networking, and it's in the exact niche market that I want to write for. And it's also gained me clients, as I do freelance editing on the side as well, and it's gained me clients. I'm working with a few people, two different people who are working on children's books, and I'm working with them in their process of writing and in editing. And I also did consulting on another novel. It wasn't a children's book novel, but this blog helped me generate contacts in that way, and of course my website and other things. So I'm learning to build the business, whereas again, when you do it part-time, you don't really have to worry so much about building a business. And if you are pursuing writing as a full-time career, you really have to learn how to run a business. And that's what I'm learning right now. So I will be sharing more tips about that as I go along. But there's so much to know right up front. And because I don't want to go into all of it, because I don't necessarily think I'm the expert on it, and I'm learning all these things, I'm providing several links below of resources that I think are fantastic and that have helped me a lot. Especially there's one down there called, I think, 67 different niche markets that you may have not considered. And this is a list of all these different niche markets that you can write for and make money doing. So there's so many outlets out there. A lot of people just automatically think of the big magazines, like I want to write for O Magazine or Wine and Spectator or whatever, Wine Spectator. But there's so many small niche markets that you can make really good money, and it's not as competitive. So check that link out. There's also a link about tips for freelance writers, tips about just starting your business in general. But I just wanted to say the basic life of a freelance writer is constantly, at least initially how I've found for me and everything I've read, is you're constantly selling yourself. And the biggest, most important thing is your query letter. Knowing how to write a query letter, which is basically what you send to editors of magazines and journals and newspapers, trying to sell yourself, your story, whatever it is that you have. Most of the time you want to have an idea first, a story idea first, and then contact a magazine that you may think will be interested in writing this or publishing this story, and sell it in a unique, creative way. So I'm going to spend a lot of time focusing on writing query letters, because this is the area that I feel like I had to learn the most, and I'm still learning, and I don't think it's talked about enough. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on. But this video is meant to sort of just give you an introduction into what it looks like. And I know I'm kind of being vague, but it's because it is vague, and I'm still learning it as well. It's running a business is what it is. So that being said, I mentioned this in another video, but because I've been getting so many questions, and I do work with clients. Like I said, I do freelance editing, and I'm doing writing coaching as well, which I just started doing. Anything that you're good at, offer your services. I think that's a fantastic way to really do something that you love and to help people. But doing these videos are part of me, wanting to just help people, because I felt like I needed a lot of help and encouragement and just feedback from people when I first started, and still do. But also because, like I said, I get so many questions and so many emails, and people wanted to just set up, like a Skype consultation just to ask questions. And so, although I would love to do this, for everybody who asks, I don't really have enough time to do that. But I am now, for the next 3 months, I'm giving away 5 free hour consultations for the first 5 people who email me on the first of each month. So, actually, sorry, it's 2 more months because I already had my 5 for this month. So in April 1st, send me an email on April 1st, and if you're one of the first 5, if you really want to just talk with me in more detail and ask me any question about whatever, or even if you need feedback on work that you're doing, or if you need feedback on a query letter or whatever, I'll do that for free. So yeah, April 1st, contact me, first 5 people, and then May, the same thing. May 1st, I'll do 5 more. June, I'm going to be in Bali for the whole month getting my yoga teacher training certificate, so I won't be able to do it. But hopefully I'll start again in July. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. And sorry this video is sort of all over the place, but I hope that gave you sort of an idea of where I came from in starting this. And the links are going to be more informative probably than this video at this point, but check out the links for sure, and write any questions that you have below, post them below, and I'll try to get back to you as well. So I hope you're doing well, and good luck with everything. Writing is so much fun, and it's definitely, if you have a passion for it, it's worth pursuing, and good writers are needed.